Lil Uzi Vert. Cap a lot. Cap like the cat. Now back to regular programming. We are back yet again with another episode. And I'm actually, after the last episode, after the last chapter, speechless. Speechless. Wrong one.
An excerpt from Navarre, an unedited history by Colonel Lewis Markham. The day Augustin Melgren manifested his signet changed warfare for the Kingdom of Navarre forever.
Foreshadow. Again.
Chapter 57.
Again. Yep. What's the problem now?
The irony of meeting at Athbean is not lost on me. Nor is the fact that this is the second time I'm visiting the outpost on the edge of the Esben mountain range after finding out Zayden Ryerson has hidden pertinent information from me. I spent last night in the library, which was probably in the best interest of everyone as I continue to muddle through my thoughts, intentions, what the fuck ever. Today I'm bleary-eyed and restless, with more questions than answers.
Me too.
But as I glance over at Zayden landing on Sigale's back, his face tense and drawn, I can recognize that telling me whether or not he wanted to was the ultimate gesture of trust.
It was.
And this time, I'm not the last to know, I'm the first. Maybe it makes me completely, utterly foolish, but somehow that makes a difference. Even if I haven't had the opportunity to tell him that, or the opportunity to interrogate his ass about how many of my intentions he's read. I'm just not sure how many this times I have in me, no matter how much I love him. Our riot of 10 lands in the clearing over the ridgeline from the outpost at noon, a full hour before we're due to meet, and 4 of the dragons back into the cover of the forest immediately, hiding in the shelter of the enormous evergreen trees that surround the field. The other 6 stand wing to wing, ready.
I'm sorry. I'm in traffic and the woman behind me is just from my, she just looks like she's having the worst day possible. She's stressing. Oh, lady, please. It's okay. We'll get this together. Do this together. It's okay. All right, I'm sorry.
To launch at a moment's notice.
Serious time.
You're sure they won't be able to tell they're here? I asked Taryn, putting my flight goggles into my pack before sliding down Taryn's foreleg. Landing on the frozen ground makes me wince. I'd woken up this morning with a 100-year-old text stuck to my cheek and a throbbing ache in my neck. Not exactly, but there's no snow at this elevation to carry tracks. Dragons only sense each other mind to mind when we allow it. As long as they stay downwind, the others will know they're here, but won't be able to identify how many or who has come. That's not exactly comforting, especially given who insisted on traveling with us. I stretch my arms up at the sun and roll my neck carefully to ease the stiffness in my muscles. After fighting Solus yesterday and accidentally sleeping on a table in the library last night, my body has had it with me. And I can't blame it. You are not a child in need of comfort. True, which only serves to remind me of the enraged adolescent I have waiting for me at home in Eratia. After telling her there would be no logical way to explain her presence, even if Taryn carried her, which she was adamantly opposed to, Endarna cursed Taryn's entire family line, then blocked us both, and went to practice with the elders. Taryn's only response had been a muttered expletive about the moods of adolescence. It doesn't escape my notice that Sigale stands between Tiny and Fawn, Ulysses' cantankerous green swordtail, not next to Taryn, which either explains or is a result of his surly mood this morning. Mom and Dad are fighting, and everyone knows it. Xaden crosses in front of Fan, completely unbothered by her snort of insult at his proximity, and peels off his gloves as he approaches me.
That's crazy.
You didn't come to bed last night. His brow furrows as he makes a quick study of my face and shoves the gloves into his pocket, and I mirror his emotions just in case we'll need to wield. Then I reinforce my shields. I was in the library with Dane poring over Warwick's journal to see what I got wrong. We both fell asleep on one of the tables until Jacinia and a few others joined us for more study. I meet his gaze, then look away before I start pelting him with questions or do something even more foolish, like forgive him before getting answers. I thought Jacinia didn't speak Old Lucerish. He barely glances at the riders who walk by and gather in front of Fan. We've brought 3 from Mira's unit, in addition to members of the Assembly. She doesn't, but Sawyer Smitten and the others were determined to help in any way they could. Even Kat, Marin, and Traeger had joined in a show of support. Did you find anything? The dragons raised their heads at a sound coming from the other side of the clearing, and the way they quickly lower them tells me everything I need to know. Early or not, this meeting is about to start. No, I answer, keeping my eyes on the trees and fighting the apprehension trying to knot in my throat. The breath of life of the 6 and the 1 combined, and set the stone ablaze in an iron flame. What did I miss? If I had, you'd know it. Would I? His tone tightens. You would. My gaze jumps to lock with his. I appreciate you not trying to talk me out of coming. I learned my lesson at Corden. He searches my face but doesn't reach for me. Let me in. If only for a second, please. Let me in. My chest tightens with every heartbeat as I hold his gaze. Exactly how much of this is mine to forgive? It's his secret. But I can't help wondering how much he's read into my own intentions. That's the part that has me hesitant, no matter how much I love him. Violet. It's the blatant plea in his tone that has me lowering my shields, just enough to feel our bond connect. And the resulting relief on his face is palpable. If you decide to tell them what I am as punishment for the crimes I've committed against you, I'll understand. You want to discuss this now, of all times? I lift my eyebrows at him. I wanted to discuss this last night, but apparently you were busy working to save Tyrandor. His attention shifts to the trees, and Taryn's shadow races across the brittle prairie grass, winding around us. Are you complaining? Our hands brush as we both turn to face whomever is coming through those trees. About you choosing the safety of my home over fighting with me? He scowls but laces his fingers with mine. No, but Mira approaches from behind Xaden, her stride confident, though 2 lines of worry are etched between her brows. I squeeze his hand, then let go. I need to know something. I run my hands down my hips, counting the blades sheathed there, all 6 of them. Did you ever use your signet to glean information to influence my feelings in any way? Never. He shakes his head, but his hands clench at his sides and the muscle in his jaw pops. But I have always lacked a certain element of self-control when it comes to you, and our bond makes it way too easy for you to send your intentions without even realizing it. Death would be preferable to the embarrassment that accompanies that revelation. I could torch him if you would like, Taryn offers, but you do seem attached. Heat flushes up my neck and stings my cheeks, reminding me of the times my scalp would prickle in his presence. You knew I wanted to kiss you that night by the wall. God, I can't even finish the question. The tops of the trees begin to sway. They've brought dragons. Yes, he glances at me, and you have my most sincere apology. Had I known what we would become, he shakes his head. Fuck, I probably still would have done it. Do you still do it? I have to know. No. I stopped the moment you were more to me than the General's daughter. The moment I realized the harm Dane had done. And that I was no better than he was. Except Zayden hadn't brokered the information he'd stolen and been responsible for killing Liam and Soleil. Yet, I've made some kind of peace with Dane, haven't I? Maybe I'm becoming complacent with betrayal because it's fucking everywhere. I'm not going to turn you in, I say quickly, looking up at him as Mira comes within hearing distance. But we'll be fighting about this later. I lift my brows. The muscle in his jaw ticks like he wants to say more, but he only adds, I will make myself available to you. You ready for this? Mira asks, crossing in front of Zayden to stand beside me. No, I reply to Mira. Are you? No. She rests her hand on the pommel of the short sword sheathed at her hip, but she'll never know that. I want to be you when I grow up. A smile tugs at my lips despite the anxiety quickening my breaths. You'll be better than me, she counters, then looks over the top of my head to talk to Zayden. By the way, you couldn't convince him to stay in Erasia? I don't wield emotions, and members of the Assembly don't take well to being tied down and restrained. He reaches back over his shoulder and draws one of the swords strapped to his back with his left hand, leaving his right free to wield. If you're looking to influence mind work, find a flyer. I barely keep myself from jabbing him in his clever semantics, because the man clearly specializes in mind work. Here we go, Mira mutters as 7 figures dressed in black step into the clearing. I palm a dagger in my right hand and crack open the door to the archives, letting power trickle into me. Melgren walks at the center, his beady eyes shifting down our line of Erasian riders. I don't need Cat's gift to heighten his anger. He wears rage like it's part of his uniform. I force myself to glance at the other members of their chosen party, only recognizing 3, 2 of whom were Mom's aides at one point or another. Colonel Fremont, second on the left, is a very powerful air wielder, I tell Zayden. He can suck the air straight out of your lungs.
Intense.
Thank you. Shadows rise in front of the 3 of us, curling in blade-like fingers at the level of our knees. Then, my gaze falls on Mom. She walks at Melgren's side, cutting through the field with quick, efficient steps, her attention split between Mira and me. The closer she comes, the more apparent her exhaustion. Deep bruises mark the space under her eyes, contrasting with her paler-than-normal complexion, even though the lines from her flight goggles indicate she's spending time in the sky. Mira tilts her chin and smooths her expression into a mask I envy, and do the best to emulate. The dragons follow, led out of the forest by Melgren's dragon, Coda. The utter nightmare of a black dragon immediately lowers his head as he stalks forward, and his golden eyes narrow at me. No, at Tarn, standing behind me. Fuck. I'd almost forgotten just how big he is, easily 5 feet taller than Tarn, numerous battle scars marking his chest scales and wings. Mom's dragon, Imser, follows, prowling toward us at the same time the other 5 make their appearance, an orange, 2 reds, and a blue. Tarn steps forward and lifts his head to hover over mine, a menacing rumble working its way up his throat. Don't drool on me, I joke, but it falls flat. The Navarian riders walk to the center of the field, and when Ulysses moves, so do we, leaving 10 feet of empty field between our lines. Swords and daggers gleam within easy reach on both sides. And here I was thinking you were dead, Ulysses, Melgren starts, forcing a smile that's mostly bared teeth. And here I was hoping you were, Ulysses counters, using his height to look down his nose at Melgren. No such luck, Melgren replies. What happened to meeting at the outpost? He gestures back toward the trees. We have refreshments waiting if you'd care to... Probably poisoned, Taryn adds, but he sounds slightly distracted, as if holding more than one conversation at once, probably because he is. We don't, Xaden interrupts. Speak your piece, Melgren. Melgren's gaze jumps to Xaden. We never should have let you into the quadrant. Regrets are truly a bitch, aren't they? Xaden cocks his head. Let's get to it. You may have nothing better to do with your day, but we're busy fighting for our continent. Nothing better, Melgren snaps, his face blotching. Do you know the destruction you caused by dropping those wyvern on the outposts? The lengths we went in order to keep it quiet? The civilians we had to... He stops himself, breathing deeply and straightening his shoulders. You almost tore down centuries of work, of tightly woven defensive strategy designed to protect the people within our borders. But only the people within your borders, Mira accuses. Fuck everyone else, right? Mom's eyes flash with barely leashed reprimand. Yes, Melgren turns that unnerving stare on my sister. When you abandon ship in the middle of a hurricane, you save those you can in the dinghy, then cut the hands off anyone else who tries to climb aboard so they don't pull you under. You're a callous asshole, she fires back. Thank you. Are we here for a reason? Xaden asks. You know, besides the evil villain lecture. Sunlight glints off the blade of his sword as he shifts his grip. We let you go, Melgren answers, glancing between Ulysses and Xaden. Let you take half the Riders' Quadrant cadets without so much as a fight. Let her go. His withering gaze slides over mine, and I lock my muscles to keep from shuddering. After she brutally murdered the Vice Commandant. Ever stop to think about why? My stomach clenches. I personally try not to think about you. Xaden replies, outright lying, but damn does he pull it off. You can't afford to lose the riders necessary to fight us, Ulysses answers. We're too expensive to keep, especially with the number of riders and the riot who chose to leave you. Perhaps, Melgren tilts his head. Or perhaps I let you. My grip tightens on my dagger. Perhaps... The general draws out the word. I knew we'd need you for a coming battle. Highly unlikely. Who would they possibly be fighting behind the wards? I'll meet Malik before I fight for Navarre again, Ulysses snarls. You were always too quick to make important decisions, Melgren says with a sigh, patting his chest. That's why I didn't mourn your loss. Damn, that was harsh. This meeting is over, Ulysses starts, red rising up his neck and splashing onto his cheeks. They're going to overrun us at Samara, Melgren interrupts. Everyone quiets. I struggle to draw my next breath. Surely he didn't mean to say that. I look at Mom and my knees weaken at the subtle nod she gives me. Even Mira tenses. I've seen it, Melgren continues. They come for us on Solstice. And they win. Shit. He said exactly what he meant. A chill races up my spine as the blood drains from my face. If Samara falls, if any of the outposts do, Wyvern would have unfettered access to parts of Navarre the ward extensions have protected for the last 600 years. Without the outposts, Vazgaiath's wards would rebound to their natural limits, only a few hours' flight reaching nowhere near the border. How? Ulysses challenges, and the riders from Mira's unit exchange disbelieving looks. Do me a favor, I say to Xaden. Forget feeling guilty about reading my intentions, and please read theirs. Everyone but the major on the right is shielded, but she's scared shitless and intends to do whatever she needs to get us to agree. He answers, shifting so his hand brushes the back of mine. Oh, and she wants to eat after this meeting and argue with your mother over her supposed affection for her daughters. Now put your shields up and block me and everyone else out.
He could read that?
Holy shit. No wonder Intrinsics aren't allowed to live. Zayden is both a jaw-dropping weapon and a frightening liability. I do as he suggests, only leaving space for Terran and the opaque, glimmering bond I feel with Andarna, even at this distance.
Broken! OP!
How
oh my God.
Isn't how it works. Melgren folds his arms across his chest, and Coda bares his dripping teeth. All that matters is that we lose on Solstice. They lose. If the wards are breached, there's no way to estimate the death toll. Every Navarian civilian between the border and the Wardstone's natural limitations will be in mortal danger. Silver One, I'm fine, but I'm not. If you've already seen the outcome, then what the hell do you expect us to do about it? Ulysses challenges, lifting his hands as he shrugs. My head turns in his direction, but I bite my tongue before I can reply that he obviously expects us to help. Change the outcome by fighting at our side. Melgren frowns like he's being forced to swallow rotten fruit. In the battle I see, none of you are there. He glances at Zayden. And we're not going to be there. Ulysses shakes his head. We don't fly for you. No, we fly for... Wait, who do we fly for? Not just Erasha or even Tyrandor. And if we're willing to fight to defend the civilians of Poromil, why wouldn't we fight to defend Navarians, too? No, but you do fly for the Imperium, Mom interjects. Dragonkind won't stand aside if the hatching grounds in the Vale are compromised. Your mother is presumptuous to speak on behalf of Dragonkind, Terran mutters.
Does she have a point, though?
If the hatching grounds are compromised, losing one outpost won't take down the entire system, and half your riot left with us, I remind her. And you're proud of that? What you caused may very well be the reason we lose this battle. The box-framed captain beside Mom snarls, lifting his short sword in my direction. I flip my dagger, pinching the tip in readiness to throw, but shadows jolt forward, knocking the sword from the captain's hand and putting him on his ass. Zayden clicks his tongue and wiggles his pointer finger. No. I'd hate to lose the spirit of civility, wouldn't you? We were all getting along so nicely. God's damn traitor. The captain spits out, fumbling for his sword before finding his feet.
Where's Brennan
Malik will meet you for your crimes.
Where's Brennan?
Mom sheathes a dagger I never saw her draw, her focus flicking between the captain and Zayden. Tried that. He didn't want me, or any of us. Remember?
I want to see that.
Zayden scratches his relic with his empty hand. Enough! Melgren shouts. I don't expect you to ally yourself with us for nothing. Fight for us at Samara, and I have it on King Tari's word that we will respect the independence of your riot, and the city you've taken refuge in. The breath freezes in my lungs. Does he know about Erasha? I can't tell. We will not conscript your citizens for our army, nor will we drag your people into a border war you have no chance of winning. Melgren shrugs. If you truly thought that, you would have invaded the second we left. Mira sounds like she's bored. Unless you saw the battles didn't go your way. This is the only offer. Melgren ignores Mira, focusing on Ulysses. If you are not our allies, then you are our enemies. Allies. That's the logical answer.
Right?
I think we'll sit this one out, Ulysses says dismissively, as though he's rejecting an offer of tea. A kingdom who never comes to the aid of others doesn't deserve aid in their time of need. Personally, I think you all deserve whatever the Dark Wielders do to you. I blink, everything in my body rebelling at the sentiment that civilians deserve to die because their leadership failed them, no matter who that leadership is. And you speak for your rebellion? Melgren's attention slides to Xaden. Or does the heir apparent? Xaden doesn't rise to the bait, nor does he argue against Ulysses' statement. But he's going to, right? The color drains from Mom's face as she looks between Mira and me, past us, and for the first time in my life, I see her wobble, like someone has knocked her off her center.
Let's go!
Footsteps sound behind me, but I can't tear my gaze away from the emotions crossing Mom's face in rapid succession, long enough to look to see who it is, and honestly, I don't need to.
It's Brennan, bro. The food.
We rule by
you
committee,
think it is?
Brennan announces, his arm brushing mine as he stops between Mira and me. And I think I'm safe in speaking for the quorum when I say that we do not defend kingdoms who sacrifice neighboring civilians. His head turns toward Mom, and her eyes bulge. Let alone their own children, so they can hide safely behind their wards. You will not escape the suffering you forced the rest of the continent to endure.
Ooh.
Brennan, Mom whispers, and the urge to cross the line and hold her upright is almost too strong to fight. For fuck's sake, Brennan, Mira whispers. When all three of your children stand against you, perhaps the time has come for self-reflection. This meeting is officially over, Brennan states, his gaze locked on our mother. Your hatching grounds are not in danger, and our riot has their own to protect now. He places his hand over his heart. I mean this with every fiber of my body. We deny your offer of peace, and happily accept war, since it sounds like you won't survive another 2 weeks to fight it. He pivots and walks away, leaving our mother to stare slack-jawed at his retreating back.
Holy shit.
Is that all there is to it? With Suri and Kylan in the woods behind us, the assembly truly has a quorum. But Xaden hasn't spoken.
Damn.
Right. Xaden nods, tension straining the muscles of his neck.
He said that.
If I were you, I'd try calling on the allies who helped win the Great War in the first place. Oh, wait. You cut off contact with them centuries ago. I suppose this really is farewell. I glance up at him and quickly school my features to mask my surprise. They're really going to leave them to die. We are going to leave them to die.
I mean.
Wrath shines in Melgren's narrowed eyes. We're done here. Do what you need to say goodbye, he says to my mother before leaving the field, walking toward the trees as Coda moves with him, slinking backward and baring his teeth and warning for anyone foolish enough to attack his rider's back. All the Navarian riders beside Mom follow. Brennan, Mom whispers again, her shoulders folding inward as she covers her mouth with her hand. Her eyes water, and the pain I see there makes me look away. Our riders make quick work of mounting, leaving only Xaden, Mira, and me on the field. Why did you want to see Violet and Mira? Xaden asks, his tone devoid of sympathy. He's alive, Mom asks Mira, her voice faint in what I think has to be shock. Obviously, she replies, folding her arms. Mom's gaze shifts to me, like I'm going to give her a different answer. He's the one who mended me after I took a venom blade in my side. Her eyes sharpen. You've known for months?
Yeah.
It's appalling to be left in the dark, isn't it, Mom? Mira snaps. To feel lied to, perhaps even betrayed by your own family, no less. Mira, I chastise. She sacrificed you too, Violet, Mira reminds me. Maybe she put you into the Rider's Quadrant to save you from being killed as a scribe once you learned the truth. Or maybe she did it to kill you before you could learn the truth and tear her precious war college to the ground. She glances sideways at me. Which you did, if you remember. Mom straightens her shoulders and lifts her chin, pulling herself together with astonishing, enviable speed. I need a word with my daughters, she says to Xaden. He arches his scarred brow, then looks to me for my decision. I nod. If what Melgren says is true and she's called to the front lines, this might be the last time I see her. The thought sickens my stomach. It's one thing to leave her, to cut any and all contact, and quite another to leave her to her death. Xaden backs away without another word, only offering his back once he passes by Taryn's claw. What do you want? Mira asks. I'm not sure that matters at the moment. Mom unbuttons her flight jacket with trembling fingers. But I want most, what I've always wanted, is for my children to live. Whatever wards you've raised from the instructions in Warwick's journal will fail. Mira stiffens. Our wards are fine. She lies just as effortlessly as Xaden. They're not. Mom delivers a full lecture with a simple look. Cut open the bodies of the wyvern who died crossing your border yesterday. My lips part. Why ever would you think I'd be ignorant of activities on your border, Violet? Ignorant of where my children are? She shakes her head and dresses me down with a quick, cutting glance that makes me instantly feel like I'm They're not. Mom delivers a full lecture with a simple look. Cut open the bodies of the wyvern who died crossing your border yesterday. My lips part. Why ever would you think I'd be ignorant of activities on your border, Violet? Ignorant of where my children are? She shakes her head and dresses me down with a quick, cutting glance that makes me instantly feel like I'm 5 again, before turning to Mira. You remember what the carcasses of the wyvern looked like at Samara, the ones Ryerson so kindly delivered? Mira nods. The stones used to create them were nothing but cold, marked rocks. Stones? Do dark wielders have runes? Yes, I was there. Mira's tone sharpens. If you don't believe me, then check the wyvern you killed yesterday. And then what? I ask. Fix your wards. She pulls a leather notebook from her jacket, and my eyes widen with recognition.
No.
If you don't, they'll decline over time to nothing. Your father told me once that his research showed that Warwick never wanted anyone else to hold the power of the wards. He wanted Navarre to eternally hold the upper hand. But Lyra thought the knowledge should be shared. Warwick lied, I whisper. But about what? She hands me the journal I'd been tortured for stealing, then nails my soul to the ground with the intensity of her gaze.
I called it.
You have the heart of a rider, but the mind of a scribe, Violet. I'm trusting you not only to protect yourself, but to protect Mira and... She swallows hard. Brennan. I open the journal long enough to recognize the language as Moranian. My heart sinks for a second, but I close the journal, undo the buttons of my jacket, and slide it into my inner pocket. Translating this one will be all on Jacinia. Moranian is one of the dead languages I can't read. She looks longingly over my shoulder, then glances at both Mira and me in turn. You don't have to understand my choices. You simply have to survive. I love you enough to bear the weight of your disappointment. Before either of us responds, she turns on her heel and walks past Imser and disappears into the woods. Think she's full of shit? Mira asks. I think the flyers can wield. Good point. On the flight back to Eratia, Mira and I break away from formation and head for the nearest wyvern carcass within our borders. Xaden stays true to his lesson-learned proclamation and doesn't argue when we separate from the riot. A half hour and some creative knife work on Mira's part. After locating the pair of wyvern bodies, Mira draws back a polished chunk of what appears to be onyx marked with a complex rune I couldn't even begin to replicate. And the damned thing is humming. Oh, shit. Is this why wyvern have suddenly reappeared? Did someone give the venom runes? As if the stone has called to its partner, the carcass 20 feet away shudders, and our heads whip toward the giant golden eye that blinks open. Fuck no, Mira whispers, drawing her sword. But I'm already an open gate to Tarn's power, and when I throw out my palms, it rips free, unleashed by my panic. Lightning cracks, flashing my vision to white and hitting its mark. The blast knocks Mira and me backward, slamming us against the cold, stiff body of the wyvern behind us. Pain ripples down my spine, but everything seems to be where it's supposed to as my ass hits the ground beside my sister. We both sit in stunned silence, watching the now smoking, charred wyvern for signs of movement. "You're sure lightning kills them?" Mira asks after a few tense minutes. "Certain," I answer. Thank Dune the Dark Wielders didn't stick around longer to see that. The cliffside would be littered with reanimating wyvern. She slowly turns her head to look at me, keeping an eye on the body. No pressure, but if you don't figure out what Warwick lied about, we're all fucked. Right, because I did such a great job the first time. And I don't even know Moranian. I'll have to rely fully on Jacinia to translate and compare the two. I draw a shaky breath. No pressure.
God damn. Payback is a bitch. God damn. We'll take war because you won't live long enough to see it. Damn! Brennan is mad, yo. He is pissed off. Oh my God. He came in. Oh my. Sheesh. He's mad. Oh my God. That's. Oh shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's crazy. Oh, that's. Oh shit. That's some big dick energy right there, bro. God damn, Brennan. Sheesh. Just when I thought they were gonna like, alright, we're gonna come to an agreement. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. God damn. My God. No chill. Shit. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, bro. Yes. See, like, for the first time ever, and one whole book and a half, right? Yeah, 50. Yeah. One whole book and a half. I never felt sorry for that woman until now. First time ever I felt sorry for her. Ever. Woo! Damn. I know she feels a little fucked up now. Cause like the reason, like one of the big reasons for her to be such a cold bitch was Brennan. And now, God damn. And for her to just like, damn, bro. First time ever I feel like a little bit sorry. Let me clarify a little bit. She's still a bitch. She's still a bitch. A little bit, sorry. A little bit. Damn. Brennan got a bone to pick, bro. He got a bone to pick. Wow. Couldn't have said it better. He just, nobody could. I see it. I lost my train of thought. So many things. Just wow. Like, couldn't have said it better myself. Damn, that's the type of man I aspire to be. Brennan, right there. He held that grudge for how many years? For how many years? That was the day. That was the day he was waiting for. That day, right there. Respect. He's standing on business. He's standing on business. He's standing on business. He don't fuck around, bro. He don't fuck around. Oh my God, bro. Brennan is standing on business. Damn. I see. And the next chapter, chapter 58, is 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Oh my God, bro. Like, this one was 30 minutes, and that shit was like, damn. Last one was 30 minutes, and that one was goddamn. This next one's 30 minutes. I just expect another bomb of some sort. Like, Rebecca, chill, girl. Chill, girl. Chill. This girl trying to kill me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on, Rebecca. Calm down, bro. Alright, well, that's the end for right now. I'm about to be home. Alright, that was fantastic. That was just fucking what? I'll give that a 8.1 out of 10. I'll give that an 8.1 out of 10. It would have been higher, but there was no killing, or there was no, like, you know, dragon flight fighting or whatever, no action. That drama though. Until next time, guys. Next episode tomorrow. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. I'm gonna finish this book fast as fuck. If I wasn't recording this, I would have been finished it. I swear, bro. I would have been hearing this shit at work, like at home. But I wait and I save myself. I control myself. All right. For y'all, you know, for y'all. I love y'all. All right. Until next episode. Later, my guys.